From Mamma Mia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick, and today I'm joined by...
Tina Burke. Hello.
Are we past saying your title now?
Yeah, we don't need to
so
anymore.
much.
The Spillers heard the discourse. We're done. No, I'm kidding. I'm pop culture and social editor here at Mamma Mia.
Yeah, so Tina is filling here today because poor Emily Vernon is a little bit under the weather, wishing her thoughts and prayers. But it's a good thing you're here because we have the first trailer from what is shaping up to be the most controversial movie of the year. We're going to get into that. We haven't shared our thoughts. We might fight. We might cry.
Oh,
who would know?
Friendships will end.
Friendships will end.
But also boss, manager and employee
what have I
friendships
said about
will end.
bringing that up? Please don't tell people I'm a boss. I'm cool and young. Anyway, you have, I actually don't even know what you're going to bring up. You have something really important, some breaking news that you need to share with the Spillers.
Yes, I'm sorry. But I have, like, all my special interests are just making news headlines. One, Lewis Pullman, don't know if you saw, at Venice Film Festival. Guys, if you haven't heard, we did a whole episode. Go check it out because we love that man and he's beautiful. But my actual news...
Can I just say, every time I see Lewis Pullman making out with Kaya Gerber, those two gorgeous Nepo babies, I just picture your face.
Yes.
Because I know how obsessed
with
you are
Justin
with both
Bieber
of them.
playing in the background. That should be me. Holding your head.
Which one? They're both hot. I'd take either.
I would date either. Are they looking for a third? Just kidding.
But also not kidding.
But also not kidding.
All right, what's your other creepy interest this week?
My delightful interest this week is that the producer of the New Heights podcast, which is Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce's podcast, just got engaged. And I just think that's so beautiful. And I know that is not information or news that matters to anyone but me. But like, he's the producer of the New Heights podcast. He's known as Intern Brandon, but he is like kind of like the Manisha Iswaran and Tina Burke of the New Heights podcast.
Well, explain that bit to the listeners in case they don't know our
like,
extended universe.
Exactly. So we are the people behind Laura Brodnick. So just as he is the people behind Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce, Mon is our producer of The Spill. She's amazing. Mm-hmm. And then he also, though, comes in and does like the bit of the class clown sometimes. And that's where I come in.
Yes, so, you are the clown. I'm going to skate right past the fact that you just called me the Travis Kelce of this little trio.
You don't want to be like the fancy boss one that everyone loves?
Actually,
Sorry.
I would love to be the slightly dumber than everyone else, or hot yet charismatic person. So actually, yeah, I'd love to be.
But you're the Travis and Jason. And don't forget, Jason was giving Barbara Walters in his Taylor Swift interview. He has journalistic integrity.
During that Taylor Swift interview, because I watched a few of the clips back, Jason Kelce, he's sweating because he's I think it's not lost on him that he is getting the longest interview that anyone will ever have with Taylor Swift ever again, because she doesn't do interviews. And he gets really nervous.
He took it seriously.
My God, me, if I interviewed Taylor Swift.
Yes. See, you are Jason Kelce.
I'd be like, tell me about sourdough. Wow, I'm having a huge identity crisis. Thanks for bringing that up. The third Kelce brother, Laura Brodnick.
The third Kelce brother, Laura Brodnick. And so their producer got engaged. It's lovely to be engaged at the same time as your boss is the story that I'm swinging today. So essentially, as we know, the tarot reader that came into our office recently
we're going there.
said that I would be meeting my husband in December or January. So I don't have any news to share currently, but I'd like to tell the Spillers to watch this space because I might pull an intern Brandon soon and come on the pod and be like, guys, I'm engaged.
And announce your engagement.
Announce my engagement. Wouldn't that be fun? First, you need to get engaged, though, for this dynamic to play out a la Taylor Swift.
Well, that could happen because as we've well, actually, no, we've never said this on the pod because why would anyone care? But when you and I met at that Bridgerton premiere party years ago, over a year ago, 1 year ago exactly.
1 year.
The psychic there told me that I would soon be married to an Englishman, and I have not seen that man.
No.
So I don't want to say to any psychics listening that it's not real.
Well, that's a bit cool.
I'm going to go out and allege and say it's not.
What I think is going to happen is that we are going to follow the New Heights thing, and you're going to meet your Englishman and get engaged, and then exactly 2 weeks later with a smaller engagement ring, and he also proposed in the ocean, I will get engaged 2 weeks directly after you, and the world will celebrate our dual engagements. Podcast history.
Well, at least we've got a content plan going forward. Yep. So wait, this New Heights man, he's so nondescript. Brandon.
Yes.
Oh, that poor boy.
But he's so fun. He when they first started dating, he would troll Travis on camera. So like they'd be talking about something completely not related to Taylor Swift because they've just started dating, and then Brandon would be sipping from like an Eras Tour cup. or he'd be wearing the merch. Like, he lives to troll his boss, and hello, dynamic.
Yes,
we know that well.
us. Wait, did Brandon get a full episode to tell his engagement story?
No, not yet. It's just happened. So
Okay.
he might possibly make an appearance, yes. And I'm hoping that Taylor sends them a gift. She loves sourdough. She loves Pop-Tarts. I hope she sends them a little something.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, two engaged bros on a bros podcast. I feel like they could pivot to a wedding podcast.
I do think they could.
Do you, because when you and I talked about the Taylor Swift engagement, speaking of that whole situation that unfolded just over a week ago, was it? I feel like we've just been living with that news forever.
Yes.
Speaking of that moment, so you and I recorded our explainer on that, like just after the post had gone live.
Yes.
And people now think that they got engaged directly after the podcast.
Yeah.
And you're a diehard Swiftie investigator. Do you think that's true?
Well, okay. Some of the evidence that people are sharing is like there's an indent in her hair, which looks like where a headphone could be. And I'm like, guys, those are beach waves. Those are just beach waves.
Because they were looking at the photos from the podcast and the
yeah.
photos from the engagement, and it
Yeah.
looks like there's an indent in her
In
hair.
her hair.
Wow, that's detective work.
detective work.
Do you know the best detective work I saw was that
What?
people were zooming in on the length of her nails.
The manicure nails.
And the manicure, and
Yeah.
then zooming in on the engagement photos and trying to see if the lengths matched up.
Yeah. Well, as we know, Travis's dad, Ed, the Kelces love to do a tell-all
Yeah.
of their children. It's really sweet. But yeah, he kind of said it was around the time. He didn't exactly say, but people took that, married it with the fact that there's some rogue friends of friends of friends out there telling people that it was the exact same day, that during the 2-hour record, they set up the flowers, they set up the archway, and then they came out afterwards and got engaged, is what Page 6 reports. And it has come from people who are like, my friend's a florist, and they said this. So
As if that florist wouldn't be under lock and key and
Yeah.
after they deliver the flowers be thrown into a box and thrown to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like that florist isn't talking.
no. So look, all signs point to engaged after the pod.
Yeah.
Would that work for me after a long, hard day at work? I don't know.
No,
But
I don't want to talk to
I'm
anyone
happy
after
for
this
them.
podcast. I'm like emotionally spent. No one's asked me to marry them. So that
Yeah.
situation has not come up yet. But if the psychic is to believed, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen, and soon. I think we do a live spill recording.
What, my
When
engagement?
you're engaged. He can tell me. I will tell Mon. We will set up in the bushes like the Taylor Swift
Okay.
photographer, and we will capture the whole event.
All right, I'll
I
wear
have
Ralph
a content
Lauren.
plan.
Okay, as
Yeah.
long as we have a content plan. Okay, well, Englishmen apply within.
Mm.
I guess congrats to Brandon. Was that the point of this?
I don't know.
And
Yeah.
his nondescript fiance?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I'm not even. Yeah. His fiance seems lovely. She said
Okay.
yes.
I mean, great.
We know that much.
Congrats to those kids. Happy for them. Didn't know they existed till right now.
Yes, but they have inspired us. Stay tuned.
So there is a movie that we have been talking, and not just you and I, the greater world has
The
been
world.
worldwide discourse. A movie that we have been talking about intensely since the casting was announced and we had no further information. And that is Emerald Fennell's upcoming adaptation of the classic Bronte novel, Wuthering Heights.
That's how I felt this morning when I saw the trailer.
Yes, because we did not know the trailer was coming out today.
No, we didn't.
Emerald Fennell, the classic filmmaker. It sounds like I'm joking, but I actually love Emerald Fennell
Yes,
movies.
wonderful woman.
Saltburn,
Oh.
a movie that just had us all in its grasp when it came out. Plus Promising Young Woman, which
Yes.
is one of my favorite movies of the decade, and she won an Oscar for it.
She
so
did.
there will be no Emerald Fennell slander on this pod unless this movie's bad, and then it's open slaughter on her.
And then it's over.
Yes. So it was announced that everyone was really excited because she writes these incredible original screenplays and her mind just works in wonderful ways, and she writes these really intense female protagonists. So everyone was so excited to see after Promising Young Woman, after Saltburn, what she would do next. And so when she announced she was doing an adaptation of Wuthering Heights, I was excited because I love the book and I love her filmmaking take, but I was also a bit like, how is it going to have the classic Fennell touch on this? So if anyone hasn't read the book, and I highly recommend if you weren't made to read it in high school, I mean, I was a nerd and I read it before Extension English.
Oh, did you? I was about to say, did you do Extension English? Because that's where I read it too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, nerds.
Oh, we are such nerds. We are such nerds who have found our way onto this podcast.
Yeah.
I still have the energy of a high schooler doing Extension English.
Me too.
That's how I prep for every podcast we do.
I know, I've seen it with your size 16 font.
Okay, that's a
I think it's size
conversation
24,
for another
but
day.
anyway.
And all my extensive notes. So the book was written by Emily Bronte and published in 1847. It was originally published under her pen name Ellis Bell. It was a whole situation. It tells this very torrid romance between Kathy and Heathcliff. And when it was announced that Margot Robbie would play Kathy and Jacob Elordi would play Heathcliff, the people were not happy. Were you happy?
I was flabbergasted.
Really?
And I got called ageist, and I'll say it
Oh.
again.
Well, no, explain.
I'll
You had a
explain
good
right
point.
now. So I really love Margot Robbie. I love her to the end of my life. you know, she is similar in age to me. So this is not an ageist comment. However, Catherine Earnshaw famously dies at 18 years of age.
Yes, and that's a huge plot point in the book.
That is a huge, huge plot point in the book. Sorry, should I say spoiler alert for the people?
I mean, the book's been out for hundreds of years.
The book's been out for hundreds of years. And I do actually think you should read it if you haven't before you watch the film.
Or watch many of the other film adaptations.
Or watch the other film adaptations.
There's been a lot.
I think it would really, like, it's going to change the way people view the film. And we can talk about that in a moment. But Catherine, famously, 18-year-old woman, regardless of death, towards the end of the film, towards the end of the book, 18 years old. Margot Robbie, mid-30s.
Yeah.
Also a blonde woman, famously a brunette woman in the books.
Yes, so, Kathy is one of, actually, she's, out of all, speaking for my people, my brunette ladies, she is like the original, like, classic kind of strong-headed brunette character that we all aspire to be.
Yes.
And so watching a blonde take over a brunette's role, actually, you're right.
Discourse.
I hate this movie.
And, you know, like, I love Margot so much. And obviously that's just the initial casting reaction. That was not a reaction to the trailers. That was a reaction to nothing, just the news. It was like Barbie playing Catherine Earnshaw was interesting. And I know that Margot's a talent. I know that she can change everything about herself for a role. I'm excited to see what she does. But there was obviously a reaction to that because you're like, well, are you changing the story then to suit the age gap?
That was my question.
Is it going to be subversive? Is it going to be modern? What's going to happen was the big reaction. And then the obvious reaction to Jacob Elordi. Yes, we love Jacob Elordi so much, but Heathcliff is described in the book as being a dark-skinned man. And until 2011, there were no adaptations that featured dark-skinned men playing the role of Heathcliff.
Yes.
That changed with a really great adaptation in 2011. And so for us to kind of then go backwards to casting another white man in the role, that obviously was something that had upset a lot of people.
And that's, it's alluded to in kind of like a behind-the-scenes way of the book.
Yeah.
That his race has something to do with like, with other things.
Treatment,
his treatment, the way he's treated, the way people view him in society at the time. And so to either they've completely missed that point of the story or they've completely cut it out. And neither of those is great.
And obviously when this casting was announced, we didn't know anything else about what they were doing with the plot. So, yeah, it was an understandable thing for people to be upset by. And I agree that it was the wrong decision to make.
Yeah. Because there's other character traits of Heathcliff. And Heathcliff, for anyone who hasn't read the book or isn't across the story, is the ultimate kind of tortured romantic hero, like he's the original bad boy
and
from the Bronte era.
He's really mean sometimes.
He is really mean. He is the classic every modern adaptation you see of a woman in a big love story falling in love with like the tortured brooding man who treats her terribly, but they're passionately in love. Like Heathcliff is the blueprint for that.
He is. And I have no doubt that Jacob Elordi could play that kind of role. I just don't know that we needed to cast Jacob Elordi in this role, but it is it's that group, right? It's Emerald Fennell, it's Margot Robbie, it's Jacob Elordi. Yeah. Same cinematographer that they used in Saltburn. Yeah. A lot of the same cast. She does have that signature now of casting the same people over and over.
Yes, because obviously Jacob Elordi had a brilliant cinematic turn in Saltburn. Who could forget the bathtub scene? Whew. Margot Robbie produced Saltburn. Yeah. She's in the mix. She knows a hit movie when she sees it. Like she knows a movie that will get people talking. Yeah. So all of that happened. But up until now, we've only seen a few set photos. So when you and I first saw the wedding photos of Margot Robbie as Kathy, we were actually quite into it. People were angry, but you and I had the same thought because we've got to the point now where I feel like we share one mind.
Yes, I just absorb your thoughts and make them mine.
It's half Taylor Swift, half Buffy trivia and nothing else.
And no in between.
And 5% for work stuff.
And 5% for Lewis Pullman edits.
Yeah. So important. You and I saw that photo and we had the same thought of like, it didn't look like a wedding dress of the era of Wuthering Heights was set. It looked like almost like an 80s style wedding dress. And then I got really excited because I thought that she was modernizing Wuthering Heights. And I was actually here for a big swing like that.
Yes.
But we've learned that's not true.
No, we've learned that's not true. And obviously the thing with the trailer is that and the poster release now is that we've seen the Wuthering Heights branding that she's gone for. Yes. And there are quote marks around Wuthering Heights in the poster and in the title card. And so that kind of tells me all I need to know. You're doing something subversive. You're doing something different. But then it is still a period drama. And so I think the feeling a lot of people have is, does Emerald have the chops to pull off a story that is subversive but not? And that's what stressed some people out.
Okay, so I was aware of that too, but then the trailer came out today. We all woke up to the glorious news that the very first trailer for the Wuthering Heights adaptation was out in the world, and I watched it with a tight cling of fear in my chest of like, is this going to be good or bad? Yeah. What did you think of it? Because it's the first time we've seen like full shots of the characters. We've seen scenes, we've seen costumes. And it's the first time I feel like we actually know what's happening.
Yes, I desperately want to see this movie.
Yeah.
I loved the trailer. I have so many thoughts about whether or not this is a Wuthering Heights film, but I really, really loved the trailer.
Yeah.
What did you think?
No, I loved it. It didn't make me think of the book at all.
No.
Which I actually love because, again, I feel like that we're at this stage, especially as we've had this conversation so many times, remakes, reboots, sequels, all that sort of thing. I'm really craving original cinema. And that was my only thought when I heard Emerald Fennell was doing this. I was like, I know Wuthering Heights so well. And I've seen all the adaptations and they're great. But if you're just going to go make another page for page remake of this story we've seen a million times, then what is the point? It's kind of like when they remade Psycho shot for shot. And I was like, what is the point of this?
For?
Is this just to see how well you can copy someone else's film? Almost a little bit with Nosferatu too. Like, I love Nosferatu, but it is it's a shot-for-shot remake of the original. And so I didn't want Emerald Fennell to do that. And when I saw the trailer, it is so heightened. It's like more sexualized than the others.
It's so sexual. Why is someone fingering a fish? Sorry.
Yeah.
Not a sentence I ever wanted to say on record.
Please do.
But...
Say it again.
Why?
It's in case people were like, what? Sorry, what?
Sorry, what did you say?
Explain that to us.
Please, why was there someone putting a finger inside a fish's mouth what are we doing?
In the trailer.
In the trailer. But there were so many like sexual things in this trailer.
Yeah.
Obviously, like he's doing up her bodice. He goes to
hot.
touch her tummy and he's like, do you want me to stop? And she's like, no. And it's like,
Hot.
It's a hot trailer. And also a weird trailer. There's scenes.
But that's what I wanted.
But it's really interesting now. This has piqued my interest because
Yes.
I've gone, yes, okay, you've gone off script, off manual. Yeah. This is not a faithful adaptation. And now I need to see what you did with it.
Yes, that's what I saw someone say today. Like, I can't believe we are witnessing in real time the salt burnification of Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
And I was like, sign me up for that movie. But also, like, her character's wearing pink sunglasses.
The Sunny's shot was the one that got me of
I
Margot.
loved it.
Because there's so much that's still, a period dress here and there. Or like the homes that they're in. Obviously, like the opening shot of the moors, I went, wait, are we doing Faithful? And then Charlie XCX started playing in my headphones and I was like, oh, all right, let's do this, Emerald.
Yeah, it reminds me of a time when every single classic like Shakespearean story was being remade into a teen movie. And now I think the next wave of that is taking these very classic English stories that have like formed literature and giving them these kind of rock star, sexy, messy makeovers.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Especially because, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe smut was popular in the 1800s the way it is today. I think it was much more secret backdoor.
Yeah.
But obviously Wuthering Heights, very sexy subtext, very sexy and dark and brooding and cruel and whatever, all mishmashed into one. But she's taking it and putting it in a modern context and going, all right, let's get fucked up.
Yeah.
Let's do some weird
bring
stuff
on the smart.
that matches the craze of these people, of these characters.
Next minute a fairy comes in and starts having sex. It's the smutty fairy Wuthering Heights crossover I've always wanted. Well, that movie is coming out on Valentine's Day of next year. We're going to go.
Oh, we're so going to go. It looks
you
so
and me
beautiful.
sitting in the theatre at Valentine's Day watching the smutty Wuthering Heights.
What a nice Valentine's Day. But we will have met our husbands by then, so it's
That's true. Our husbands will be seeing the row behind us.
They can see the row behind.
Okay, love that for us.
But like to me, I don't mean to make everything in my life about Jurassic World. The movie I hated the most this year. But the reason I say that is, for me, Jurassic World Rebirth, had you called that movie something else, it was just a dinosaur film, I might have enjoyed it a lot more. But you add the name, you add the branding, you add the franchise to something, and it heightens it for really big fans of that. I love Wuthering Heights as a book, but I think the reason some people are getting so upset is that they are like, this is Wuthering Heights. How dare you do this to Wuthering Heights?
To just get
because they're like, this doesn't feel like it is about that book. It just feels like you could have done anything else and made this movie. But I actually don't. I think she's clearly right. She took the inspiration and she's run with it. Yeah. And so I want to see what happens. But I understand why people are upset. I had my own upsets this year.
Yeah, if you're feeling stressed about this today, we hear you, we see you. I didn't expect a through line from the Jurassic Park franchise to Wuthering Heights, but that is modern cinema for you.
That is modern cinema.
Valentine's Day, and bring on the smut.
Yeah, bring it on.